Hey, Farhan here. I'm making this video before my morning coffee, so here we go. I might seem a bit tired. Um, Day 4 of 7 challenge for meditation just finished last night. I'm doing these Facebook Lives. If this video comes out way after, don't worry. I'm going to continue to do my 1 hour meditation from 4 to 5 a.m. and at 5:05 a.m. Eastern every day. There's about a 5 to 10 minute Facebook Live on the group Biggest Balls in the Game, balls with a Z. So if you're not on that group already, join it ASAP. Today's video is about my beginnings with RSD, right? A lot of people wonder, how did it all start? What was your first step? What was your mindset? What was your state in terms of your energy, your motivation, your inspiration? Why did you do the steps you did? And how did you do them? And what sort of mentality, what sort of capacity did you believe you had at that time, and what made you do those specific steps, and what were those steps? So I'm going to talk about all that stuff here, sort of the beginnings of my RSD journey. So it all started when I liked this girl. Now if you want to know more about this girl, this story is from like 2000, so 2006 I started my PhD, and this was 2004 is when I started my master's, and this was around 2005. No, does that make sense? 2005, 2003 I finished undergrad, 2004, 2005, 6. Yeah, that does make sense. Around 2005 is when I liked this girl. I'm not gonna say her name here, but if you want to know more about this girl, go to my letter to your inner chode, CHODE. There's 4 parts to that, and I recorded every little thing about what happened with this girl, why I liked her, how I met her, how I put her on a pedestal, and all the stuff that happened with her are explained in those 4 parts. It was my birthday videos, I believe, that Kyle shot. Kyle Turner, amazing videographer and filmmaker, he shot all those videos. So go watch those if you're interested in my love story with that girl. Love story. But that is where it all started, right? So I liked this girl. It did not work out. Things didn't end very well. I was very sad. For about 3 weeks, I was depressed. I was out of the lab. I didn't do any experiments. It was a very big surprise for my lab mates who saw me there, 14 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week. And it was all because of this girl and my feelings for her. It was one of the first times I sort of like fell in love with a girl. And essentially, I asked one of my best friends in Montreal about what happened. This was around December of 2005 or 6 or something like that. And I said, look, this happened with a girl. You know what? It was probably December of 2004. How could it be? I'm just thinking, like, how could it be 13 years? That doesn't make that much sense. I don't know. I'm having a trouble right now recalling history, but go look at those videos. I probably talk about it in there in detail, but the history doesn't matter that much. Like the dates don't matter that much. It's the concept that matters. So let's get to the concept. Man, I'm ranting so much. So I asked my friend in Montreal, hey man, this happened with a girl. It made me very sad and I'm very depressed. What do I do? So he told me about Mystery, right? He told me there's this guy named Mystery. He's like this weird dude with like long hair, cowboy hat, and he does this thing called cold approach pickup. And there's this book called The Game. There's this another guy named David D'Angelo who wrote all these books like Double Your Dating and Attraction is Not a Choice. And I was like, this sounds pretty nerdy. I like this stuff. So that weekend, I sat and I read Double Your Dating, Attraction is Not a Choice, and anything else I could get a handle on the internet. I read all that stuff, like book after book after book. And then the following week, one of my lab mates handed me the book, The Game, to read. And it was very interesting because I don't know if you've seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but when Will hands Carlton his black book, they do this entire ceremony with like fire and like wearing like a Darth Vader outfit, like with the hoodie and everything. It's really interesting. So we did that type of ceremony at the lab where my colleague handed me the game, and it was like da 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 da. Like, it was really interesting, spooky shit. So I read that book as well, and that is when I had for the first time heard of Tyler Durden, who is RSD Tyler. Now he's one of my mentors and one of my best friends. So now that is sort of where I got started with this pickup game thing, and it was because of this girl, and then I got into it, and I started going into the Lair meetings, LAIR, this underground RSD meetups in Montreal. Started going to inner circle meetings. I started participating in different types of groups. And then I met Madison, RSD Madison, who was the inner circle leader at the time. He was also a guest instructor for RSD. He wasn't executive instructor yet. He was guest instructor. And the reason Tyler picked him up is because he saw Madison pick up a stripper in Vegas, like real time on the spot. And Tyler was really impressed, so he made Madison a guest instructor. I don't know if he's even told you guys about that story. If he hasn't, go to his channel and request that he tell you that story, because it's dope. And make sure you tell him Farhan sent you. Shout out to Madison if you're watching this. So that's sort of where my RSD journey started. Let me see how good the lighting is here. It's not bad. I'll show you some of my backyard as well. This is my Airbnb. We're in Toronto right now. This is like a 5-bedroom condo. Here, let me show you. That's the condo right there. And I just live in one of the bedrooms here. No one else is there, so I have the whole house to myself. I recorded this here in my backyard, my garage, like that. Anyway, so that's where my journey started with RSD. And then eventually, I was doing my PhD, so I was unable to actually travel and go places. But even then, when I was writing my thesis, I did a first assistantship with, it was first Alex. Alex came over, RSD Alex. I assisted him for the whole weekend. You can go watch that in another video. I talk about that in detail. I don't want to, again, do a redundant story here. So go watch that in the RSD Alex video. If it's not already up, it will be up in the future. Then, and remember, I did all this for free. It was all volunteer work. I would do security. I would pat people before they came in. Take their cell phones, register them for hot seats, for free tours. I would assist boot camps, get people into clubs. Man, it's starting to rain. And then Julian came. I'm gonna go in here in the shade, and you might not have good light, but I'm sorry. I'm just warning you. It's raining a bit right now. Then RSD Julian came, and I assisted him during boot camp, did his hot seat, and then I went to World Summit. And I still had never met Tyler, had just heard of him, had read about him, had seen all of his videos on YouTube, and I was one of those guys, just watching video after video after video. I did go out and do day game, night game. A lot of my night games were drunk. For 4 years, my first 4 years of game, I was drunk. I always drank. I got super drunk. I was with my best friend in Montreal, the same guy who gave me the book, The Game. Didn't pick up many chicks at all, maybe 2 or 3 over 4 years. It was very bad. It was just like we were pretending that we were successful. We were pretending to be, masculine, but we weren't. We were just drinking and being pathetic. Spent a lot of money, wasted a lot of money during those times as well. And I was going to grad school at the same time, so that was kind of tough. It did delay my grad school studies. It did delay my, just my education in general. But that's sort of the journey for what happened with RSD and how. And then when I first met Tyler at Immersion, or 1 week before Immersion, this was the World Summit. I went up there and I approached him. You can go watch that in How I Met RSD Tyler. Go type that in YouTube. How I Met RSD Tyler, Doc Testosterone, and that entire story is there as well. And yeah, that's where it got started. It was just me taking action, me not really thinking about the outcome of what's going to happen. I just went and did it. Madison said, hey dude. Oh, and I did bring Madison, and I did bribe him with biscotti and espresso to my condo in Montreal. He came over. This was during my thesis, 90-day lockup period where I locked myself in my room for 90 days. that is when I invited Madison over. We chatted. He told me to do assistantships, just volunteer when RSD instructors come to Montreal, and I did exactly what he said. I followed him blindly, and he's an amazing person. If you don't know RSD Madison, go follow his channel on YouTube. He's fucking amazing dude, and he's one of my best friends as well. So, and I just listened to what he said, and I thank him for that. And I have an entire interview with RSD Madison as well. Now, before I end here, if you have any question, post your comments below. I will answer more questions regarding my journey towards RSD and how it all got started if you're interested. Maybe I missed a little bit here, or I missed out some details. If you are really interested, let me know, and I'll go into detail about certain aspects of how I got introduced to RSD and why I did what I did and why I took those risks. And I want to know exactly how this benefits you. So if something benefits you a certain way, tell me and put it in the comment below, and I'll make a video about it. Also, go join Biggest Balls in the Game Facebook group, Balls with a Z, ASAP. If you're not already on it, get on it. A lot of exclusive content on there. Every morning at 5:05 a.m. Eastern, I wake up, I do my Facebook live session right after my meditation, and that's going to continue hopefully forever. So you'll get access to me one-on-one, my heart, my soul, my body, my mind, all of that for you, about a 5 to 10 minute Facebook live every single day for Facebook group only. That's the exclusive content. That's for the badasses, the serious people who want to take massive action and improve their life. All right, so that's it for today. Be happy, be loving. Amen. Be happy, be loving, and tell your friends. Share this with people who might be interested in risk-taking, decision-making, choice architecture, and that's what we're going to cover very soon. So this is Farhan from Toronto. See you soon.